I heard my boyfriend on the phone saying, 5 years of sleeping with her for free is enough. She's such an idiot. In that moment, I swear I could hear my heart shatter clean and sharp. Everyone thought I would cry, scream, beg him to stay. But I didn't the next day. I'm married into a wealthy family so far above him he couldn't even see it. Since then, the jerk has knelt at banquets begging me to come back, only to be pinned down by my husband with one move. He broke down at his own wedding, yelling, "I'm not getting married, I want you." He even stood outside the Carter family estate screaming my name like a madman, but I no longer belonged to him. Everyone thought that was the end of the story, but they didn't know a truth buried for 5 years was closing in. The person she wanted to kill in that car accident was me. My name is Ava Summers. I'm 22 years old. For 5 years, I was with Ryan Cooper, and I thought we would get married until that rainy evening. I went to his place to bring him some soup. He'd been living in the guest room at my parents' house for years. My dad said Ryan's parents had died early and he had no one, so we took him in. I didn't knock, wanting to surprise him. That's when I heard his voice through the door. I never planned to marry her. I froze, still holding the warm thermos in my hand. 5 years of free sex, that's enough. Emma's getting out of prison soon. Yeah. I know, Ava Summers. She's a total idiot. Rain hammered the window. My heart broke in the same rhythm. I stood there, unable to move. The soup was warm, but my hands were ice cold. 5 years. 5 years of taking his notes, helping him find jobs, celebrating every birthday with him, nursing him when he was sick, comforting him when he was sad. He once said he loved me. It had all been a lie. The door opened. Ryan stood there, stunned. "Ava, when did you get here?" He reached for the thermos. I stepped back. "What's wrong?" He frowned, still that handsome face I had once adored. "Who's getting out of prison?" I asked softly. His expression changed instantly. "You heard?" I didn't answer. I just looked at him. "Ava, listen, let me explain." He stepped forward. I set the thermos on the floor and turned to leave. "Ava." I didn't look back. The rain fell harder. I didn't bring an umbrella. My clothes and face were soaked through. I couldn't tell if it was rain or tears. The next day, my dad called me into his study. He looked exhausted. "Ava, our family's situation isn't great." I knew. The Summers family used to be mid-tier wealthy, but we'd been declining for years. Even at 22, I understood what that meant. The Carter family proposed a marriage alliance. Dad said slowly, "Julian Carter, the Carter heir. He's 28, very accomplished. You want me to marry him?" I asked. Dad sighed. "I know you and Ryan." "I'll do it," I said. He froze. "I agree to the marriage." I repeated, calm. "When?" "Ava, you can take time to think." "No need." I stood up. "I'll marry him." My legs were shaking when I left the study, but I didn't cry. That night, Ryan came into my room. He hugged me from behind. "Ava, I'm sorry about yesterday. I didn't mean what I said. Don't be mad, okay?" He smelled the same, the body wash I chose for him. In the past, I would have hugged him back. Tonight, I didn't. "We're getting married soon, right?" he asked gently. I looked at him. "Would you marry me?" He went silent. "See," I said, "you never wanted to." "That's not true." Emma's getting out, right?" I said. "She's the one you've always cared about." Ryan visibly blanched. "How do you know about Emma?" "That doesn't matter," I said. "Ryan, we're done." 3 days later, I saw a message on Ryan's phone. It was from Emma. "Ryan, I'm getting out early. I can see you next week." Early release. So she had been in prison. I heard about a car crash 5 years ago. Someone from the Carter extended family died. The culprit went to jail. So it had been Emma. Ryan came out of the shower and saw me holding his phone. "You went through my phone?" he snapped. "Who is she?" I asked. He snatched it away. "None of your business. She's the one you've always liked, right? All these years, you were just waiting for her to come out?" Ryan's eyes flickered. "Ava, it's not what you think, Emma. She's had a hard life. Her parents died. She was my dad's friend's daughter. My dad asked me to look after her before he passed. So you looked after her all the way to prison?" I said, "It was an accident." He roared. "She didn't mean to." "What about me?" I asked. "What did these 5 years mean to you?" He didn't answer, and that silence chilled me completely. A month later, I was getting married to Julian Carter. The morning of the wedding, I sat in the luxury wedding car arranged by the Carter family, dressed in white. Dad's eyes were red. "Ava, I'm sorry." "It's okay," I said. "I want to do something for our family." The car pulled away. At an intersection, another procession of white wedding cars appeared. and I saw Ryan. He stood beside one of the cars, wearing a black suit. A girl in a white dress held his arm, smiling sweetly. That must be Emma. I thought they were getting married already. Ryan didn't see me. The curtains in our car were drawn. I parted them slightly. He smiled down at Emma, a smile I had never seen in 5 years. Emma said something, and he touched her hair gently. Our car began moving again, unexpectedly. Ryan walked toward our vehicle. He tapped the driver's window. The driver rolled it down. "Can I help you?" he asked. Ryan smiled. "The two brides look beautiful today. Mind if we exchange bouquets? For good luck." The driver glanced back at me. I tightened the curtain, staying silent. "Sorry, we're in a hurry," the driver said. We drove off. In the rearview mirror, I saw Ryan standing there, holding a bouquet while Emma clung to his arm. He didn't recognize me. Good. After the wedding, I moved into the Carter estate. The Carter residence was enormous and quiet. Julian arranged a separate room for me. He was polite, distant. "If you need anything, tell the housekeeper," he said. "We may be married, but there's no need to force anything." I nodded. A week later, I went back to my old apartment to pick up my things. Ryan was there. Ava. His eyes lit up as if he'd found something he lost. "Where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere." "I got married," I said plainly. He froze. "What?" "I married Julian Carter," I said. "The heir of the Carter family." His face flushed white, then red. "You're kidding, right?" "Ava, how could you marry him? Don't you love me?" I almost laughed. "And you? Didn't you also get married?" "I saw your wedding cars." That he stuttered. "That was fake. I did it to make you jealous. I didn't actually marry her." He stepped closer and grabbed my shoulders. "Ava, I was wrong. I swear I was wrong. Emma and she just needed me. But the one I want to marry is you." I tried to push him away, but he was too strong. "Let go." "No." His eyes reddened. "You're mine. You've always been mine these 5 years." He leaned in to kiss me. I turned my head. His lips brushed my cheek. "Ryan Cooper." I shoved him with all my strength. "Shouldn't you be with Emma? Isn't she the one who's coming back into your life?" He froze. "You're bringing her up again?" His tone turned cold. "Why do you care so much about her?" "I don't care anymore," I said, "because you don't matter anymore." He stared at me as if he didn't recognize me. "Ava, you've changed." "Yes," I said. "I have." I grabbed my things and went back to the Carter estate. That night, my phone buzzed. It was a friend. "Ava, look." It was a picture of Ryan and Emma at the beach. He held her in his arms, both of them laughing. The timestamp was a month before, when he was still telling me he loved me. Another message. "They're traveling together. It's all over social media. Are you okay?" I typed back, "I'm fine," and I was. Hearts that have died don't feel pain. That evening, the Carters hosted a banquet. Julian said I needed to attend. "As the lady of the Carter family, people expect to see you," he explained. I nodded. "Okay." He hesitated. "If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to go. It's fine," I said. I changed into a gown, did my makeup. The girl in the mirror felt unfamiliar, calm, emotionless. At the banquet, many guests arrived. My father came too. When he saw me, his eyes reddened again. "Ava, you've lost weight." "I'm fine, Dad." Then, a disturbance at the entrance. Ryan walked in, wearing a suit, holding Emma's hand. Emma in a white dress, looking fragile. They walked straight toward my father. And then Ryan did something no one expected. He knelt, right there, in front of everyone. "Mr. Summers," he said loudly, "please let me marry Emma. I love her. She's the one I want." The entire ballroom fell silent. Everyone stared at me. Emma knelt too, crying, "Please, Mr. Summers. Ryan and I truly love each other." Dad trembled with anger. "Ryan, do you know where you are? This is the Carter family banquet. Ava is already married." "That was forced." Ryan looked up at me. "Ava, tell them. You were forced into it, right?" All eyes turned to me. I stepped forward calmly. "Ryan Cooper," I said. "I wasn't forced." He froze. "I married Julian willingly," I continued. "And whom you marry has nothing to do with me." Emma looked up, something smug flashing in her eyes before she covered it with tears. "Ava, I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean to steal Ryan away from you." "You don't need to apologize," I said. "He was yours from the beginning." Ryan's face went pale. "Ava, what are you saying?" "I'm saying," I spoke slowly, "I wish you both happiness." Then I turned and walked toward Julian. Julian had been standing in the shadows. Now he stepped forward. He gave Ryan a single cold glance. "Escort them out," he ordered. Security guided Ryan and Emma away. The banquet continued, but the whispers spread like wildfire. The Summers girl got dumped, how pitiful. Good thing she married into the Carter family. I didn't care, not anymore. After the banquet, my dad came to find me. Ava, I'm so sorry, this is all my fault. His eyes were full of tears. Dad, it's not your fault, I said. That Ryan, I can't believe I raised him all those years. Dad trembled with anger. It's all over now, I said. Julian walked over. Mr. Summers, Ava is my wife now. The Carter family will protect her. Dad nodded, looked at me again. Ava, live well. I will. After he left, Julian said quietly, you did well. I blinked. What? Back there, he said. You stayed calm. I gave a bitter smile. What else should I have done? Cry? He watched me for a moment. If you need to cry, he said softly, you can. I don't need to, I replied. The next day, the entire social circle was talking. The Summers girl has changed. She's like a different person. Well, after going through something like that, yes, I had changed. I was no longer the Ava who waited around for someone to love her. A week later, I attended a party at the entrance to the restroom. I ran into Emma. She smirked. Ava Summers. I ignored her and walked to the door. She blocked me. What are you so proud of? Just because you married into the Carter family? Ryan doesn't love you. Move, I said. I won't. She suddenly shoved me hard. I lost balance and fell. My ankle twisted painfully. Then Emma suddenly dropped to her knees, crying dramatically. Ava, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push you. Ryan ran over. He saw only Emma kneeling and crying and me on the floor. Ava, what are you doing? He yelled. I didn't do anything, I said. You liar. He helped Emma up, then turned to me. He raised his hand. Smack. The slap was loud. My face burned instantly. People turned to look. Ryan froze, maybe shocked he actually hit me. Ava, enough. I stood slowly, my ankle throbbing. But I stood tall. Ryan, this is the first time you've hit me. I didn't mean, and it will be the last. I limped out. Every step hurt. But my heart didn't. Things that are completely dead do not hurt anymore. That night, I came down with a fever. My ankle was swollen. My head was spinning. The housekeeper called the doctor. Julian was on a business trip. I lay alone in the dark, half conscious. My phone rang. Ryan, I answered. Ava, he sounded anxious. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Emma said you pushed her. So I have a fever, I murmured. Can you come be with me? Silence. Ava, Emma is very upset. She keeps crying. I'll come over after I comfort her, okay? No need, I said softly. Stay with her. I hung up and turned my phone off. He didn't come that night. I knew he wouldn't. By dawn, my fever broke. Julian returned and came to see me. I heard you were sick, he said. Yeah, fever. Ryan hit you? His eyes cooled as he saw the faint mark on my cheek. Yes, that won't happen again, he said quietly. I know, I replied. Fate has a cruel sense of humor. Ryan and Emma scheduled their wedding on the same date as ours, same month, same day, and again our wedding cars crossed paths. This time, Ryan saw me. I stepped out of the Carter car in a red tea ceremony dress. He stood by his wedding car in a groom's suit. Stunned. Emma, in a white gown, tugged his arm. Ryan, let's go. Ryan shook her off and ran toward me. Ava, you really married him? The Carter bodyguards blocked him. Move. Ryan shouted madly. Ava Summers, answer me. You really don't love me anymore? I looked at him calmly. Ryan Cooper, today is your wedding day. I'm not getting married, he shouted. I want you. Only you. Emma ran over. Panicked. Ryan, what are you saying? The scene was chaos. Julian stepped out of the car, walked to my side. Let's go, he said. We turned to leave. Ryan suddenly knocked over a flower stand, screaming like a madman. The bodyguards pinned him down. Ava, I didn't turn back. The Carter estate was huge, with many rules, but Julian treated me well. You're my wife, he said. The Carters will protect you. And he meant it. He took me to meet his family, introduced me as his wife. He taught me how the Carter businesses worked. If you want to learn, he said. I do, he nodded. Good. One day, Ryan showed up at the Carter gates, demanding to see me. Security wouldn't let him in. Ava, I know you're inside. Come out, he screamed. Julian went out to face him. I watched from a second-floor window. Ryan Cooper, Julian said coldly. You shouldn't be here. I want to see Ava. She doesn't want to see you. How would you know? Ryan's eyes were red. She loves me. She always has. Julian laughed softly. I see. Love? You're not even qualified to say the word you. Ryan lunged. Security held him back. Julian turned. Escort him out. If he comes again, no need to be gentle. He walked back in and looked up at me. Seen enough? He asked. I nodded. Come down, he said. Your tea is getting cold. A few days later, Ryan went to my family home to cause trouble again. Dad called me. He came again. He wants to see you. Don't see him, I said, but he refused to leave, so in the end, I went. When Ryan saw me, his eyes lit up. Ava, you came. What do you want? I asked. Let's run away together, he said, grabbing my hand. I'll give everything up. We'll go somewhere no one knows us. I looked at him like he was a stranger. Ryan Cooper, I said calmly, I'm married, you can get divorced. I won't, he froze. Why? Do you still hate me? Ava, I was wrong about everything. Emma and I broke up. I don't love her, I love you. Too late, I said. It's not too late. He grabbed my wrist. As long as you still love me, it's not too late. I pulled my hand back. I don't love you anymore, I said. He went completely still. What did you say? I don't love you. I repeated. Whatever we had, it's dead. He shook his head violently. No, you're lying, Ava. You're lying. I'm not. I looked him in the eyes. I did love you. Deeply. But that was in the past. What about now? He whispered. Now, who do you love? Julian Carter? I thought for a moment. I'm not sure, I said honestly, but I do know I don't love you anymore. He staggered back like I'd punched him. Ava. Goodbye, Ryan, I said. Actually, let's not see each other again. I turned and walked away, and this time, I didn't look back. Ryan refused to give up. He went to find Julian at the Carter corporate headquarters. I want to see Julian Carter, he shouted at the front desk. They wouldn't let him in, so he waited outside. When Julian finally came out, Ryan rushed at him. Julian Carter, you stole Ava from me. Julian looked at him with mild annoyance. You need something? I challenge you to a fight. Ryan yelled. Whoever wins gets Ava. Julian laughed. She's not an item, he said, and besides you've already lost you. Ryan swung a punch. Julian sidestepped effortlessly. In one move, he twisted Ryan's wrist. Ryan collapsed to his knees with a cry. The whole thing lasted less than 3 seconds. The bodyguards approached, but Julian waved them off. He released Ryan's wrist. You can't even protect her, Julian said coldly. What makes you think you can compete with me? Ryan sat on the ground, pale and humiliated. Julian straightened his sleeves and walked away. When I heard about it, I was studying financial reports. The housekeeper said, Mr. Carter dealt with Mr. Cooper earlier. Oh, I said, you're not worried? He asked. Worried about who? I asked. He blinked, then laughed. Never mind, he understood. I didn't worry about Julian, he was strong. And I didn't worry about Ryan, he wasn't my problem anymore. Julian started to treat me gently, not in an overbearing way, in quiet, thoughtful ways. If he knew I got cold while reading at night, he had carpets added in my study. If he knew my stomach was weak, he asked the kitchen to make lighter meals. If studying management exhausted me, he'd tell me, rest, we're not in a hurry. One day, I asked him, why are you so good to me? He looked at me. You're my wife, that's all? Isn't that enough? He asked. I nodded. It's enough. I knew many wealthy marriages were cold separations under one roof, but Julian wasn't like that. He was taking this marriage seriously. Emma's situation worsened. After prison, she couldn't find work. Ryan supported her even after they broke up, but she wasn't satisfied. She blamed me. She started stalking me, sending threatening letters, harassing me on social media. Julian found out and arranged for it to be handled. Don't hurt her, I said. Julian frowned. She threatened you. She's pitiful. I said quietly. Pitiful people often have hateful sides, he replied, but still he listened. He only warned her. Unfortunately, that provoked her even more. At a charity gala, Emma showed up. She was dressed gaudily and stormed toward me. Ava Summers, you bitch. The room went silent. You stole Ryan from me. You stole my life. Why don't you just die? Security stepped forward, but she broke free and grabbed a glass of red wine and threw it at me. I didn't dodge. The red wine splashed across my white dress like blood. Emma, I said calmly, I never stole anything from you. Liar, she screamed. Ryan was mine. You seduced him with your family's money. He lived in my house for 5 years, I said. Ate my family's food. Used our resources. If anyone seduced anyone, he seduced me. Emma blinked, stunned. And another thing, I continued. You say I stole your life? Your life was ruined because of you. 5 years ago. You drove drunk and killed someone. That wasn't my doing. That wasn't my fault. She shrieked. That person jumped out of nowhere. That's not what the police report said. Her expression twisted. She lunged at me, but Julian caught her wrist. That's enough, he said coldly. 'Cause trouble again. And you won't get a simple warning. Emma stared at him, then at me, and suddenly laughed. You'll regret this, she whispered. I'll make you both regret everything. Security dragged her out. After that night, I began to fight back. Not out of revenge but to grow. I took management courses seriously and started participating in Summer's family projects. Dad was astonished. Ava, you're improving so fast. I want to help you, I said. Julian helped me too. He taught me negotiation, taught me how to read people, taught me decision making. You're smart, he said. Thank you. That's not a compliment, he added, looking into my eyes. It's the truth. You have real talent. I felt my cheeks warm. It was the first time in a long while I'd blushed in front of someone. One day, the police came to see me. It was about the accident 5 years ago. Miss Summers, the officer said, we've reopened the investigation. Why? I asked. A new lead surfaced. The victim was a distant Carter family member. The Carters never gave up looking into it. Julian was there too. What lead? He asked. The officer hesitated, then said, we have reason to believe the crash may not have been an accident. What do you mean? I asked. We suspect Emma's target wasn't the victim. The officer looked at me. It may have been you, Miss Summers. I froze me. Yes, the officer nodded. We discovered Emma had followed you several times before the incident. That night, you were supposed to take the same road, your usual route home. I remembered. That night, Ryan told me he felt sick and asked me to come home early. I canceled my plans and changed my route. The victim happened to be walking that road at the same time you usually passed by. Wrong place, wrong time. My hands trembled. She tried to kill me? We can't confirm it yet, the officer said, but the likelihood is high. Julian took my shaking hand. His palm was warm. Continue the investigation, he told the police. The Carter family will cooperate. When Emma heard the police were investigating again, she completely snapped. One afternoon, she called me. Ava, I need to talk to you. I don't want to hear anything you have to say, I replied. It's about Ryan. She said, you still love him, don't you? I don't, you liar, she screeched. I'm on the rooftop. If you don't come, I'll jump. I frowned. Emma, don't be stupid. 30 minutes, she said. If you're not here, I'm dead. She hung up. I told Julian, don't go, he said instantly. But if she really jumps, that's her choice, Julian said firmly. Even so, I still went. Julian followed me. The rooftop was high, the wind fierce. Emma stood at the edge, swaying. You came, she said, smiling strangely. Emma, step away from the ledge, I said. No. She shook her head violently. Ava, it's all your fault. If it weren't for you, Ryan would be mine. Julian might have been mine too. Julian has nothing to do with you, Julian said coldly. Emma stared at him, obsessed. Julian, you could have liked me. I'm prettier than her, smarter than her. You're insane, Julian said flatly. I'm not insane, she screamed. You both drove me to this. Suddenly, she rushed at me. Julian grabbed my arm, pulling me back, but Emma had a knife. She slashed Julian's arm, then grabbed me and dragged me toward the edge. Let's die together. She laughed wildly. Then Ryan will remember us both forever. Emma, let her go, yelled a voice. Ryan, he had come too. Ryan stared at Emma, his face twisted with shock and disbelief. Emma, let Ava go, Ryan, Emma cried. You finally came. Look, I have her. This bitch, she ruined everything. Let her go, Ryan said quietly. We can still fix things. There's no fixing anything. Emma wailed. I killed someone. The police are after me. I'm done, but I'll take her with me. She shoved me hard. I lost my balance. The world tilted and I fell backward. Dozens of stories below Ava. Ryan lunged forward. He caught my ankle just in time. I dangled in open air. Emma laughed hysterically. Let's all die together. Then she jumped. She fell past me. Her wide, terrified eyes met mine, and then she disappeared. Ava, hold on, Ryan shouted, but his grip was slipping. I felt his blood dripping on me. His hand was shaking violently. Julian, he screamed, help. Julian ran forward and grabbed Ryan's arm. Hold on, he barked. Ryan's grip on my ankle loosened, but he still refused to let go. Ava, he gasped, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I looked up at him. In that moment, I no longer hated him. Ryan, I said softly, let go. You can't hold me, no. He shook his head desperately. I won't. Even if I die, I won't let go. But his fingers were slipping. Then firefighters reached the rooftop, secured ropes, and pulled us all back to safety. I collapsed onto the concrete. Ryan fainted, still clutching my ankle with a bloody hand. We were taken to the hospital. Ryan was severely injured, unconscious. Emma was dead. The police publicly released their findings. The car accident from 5 years ago was intentional. Emma's intended target was me, the person who died. Was collateral damage. When Ryan woke up and learned the truth, he broke down. When he was finally able to get out of bed, the very first thing he did was come to see me. He knelt in front of me, trembling. Ava, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know she tried to kill you. Well, now you know, I said. Please, forgive me. His tears fell uncontrollably these 5 years. I was wrong about everything. I looked at him quietly. Ryan, I said, I don't hate you anymore. His eyes lit with desperate hope. But I don't love you anymore either. Light extinguished. What we had, I said, ended long ago, Ava. Go, I said, turning away. Don't come to me again. That night, Julian came to my room. Are you okay? He asked gently. I'm fine, I said. About Ryan. It's over, I said. Julian looked at me for a moment and then said something unexpected. Ava, I actually met you before. I looked up, 5 years ago. At the university library, he said. You were reading, very focused. I noticed you. I stared at him. At the time I thought, that girl is special. Then why didn't you approach me? Because I found out you had a boyfriend, he said simply. I didn't want to interfere. So later, when you heard my family needed an alliance, I proposed the marriage myself. He admitted. I blinked. So you married me because you liked me? Yes. But I didn't like you back then. I know, he said softly. That's why I never pushed you. I wanted to give you space. Time to heal. My eyes grew hot. Julian. So now, he asked quietly, Ava, would you be willing to try loving me? My eyes filled with tears. Not for Ryan, not for heartbreak, but for myself, for the girl who spent 5 years being small, for the pain I endured, and for finally being loved the way I deserved. Yes, I whispered, I'm willing. Julian pulled me into his arms, and he held me tight, so tight. Ryan came one last time. Ava, can we start over? He begged. We can fix everything. I shook my head. That will never happen. Why? His voice cracked. You still love me, right? No, I said. I love Julian. He went pale. You love him? Yes, I said. He respects me, protects me, loves me. And you? I looked him in the eyes. You only value things after you lose them. I was wrong. Yes, I said, but we can't go back. Ryan left. His back looked so lonely, but I felt nothing. A year later, Julian told me he wanted to give me a real wedding. The first one was to rush, he said. This time, I want everyone to know you are my wife. The wedding was magnificent. I wore the most beautiful white gown. My father walked me down the aisle toward Julian. He looked at me with such gentleness. I do, he said. I do. I answered. When we exchanged rings, his hands trembled. Nervous? I whispered. Yeah, he admitted. I'm afraid you'll run away. I won't. I smiled. Not in this lifetime. In the audience, Ryan was there too. He sat in a dark corner, quietly watching. I didn't look at him. My eyes were only on Julian. 2 years later, I took over the Summers family business and managed it well. Dad retired and spent his days gardening, feeding birds, enjoying life. Julian was still busy, but he came home every night for dinner. And we had a daughter. We named her Nora Carter. She was adorable, a perfect blend of both of us. One day, I took Nora to the park. We ran into Ryan. He looked thinner, but peaceful. Ava, he greeted softly. Ryan, I nodded. This is your daughter? Yes, she looks like you, he said with a small smile. We stood there in silence for a moment. I'll go now, he finally said. You take care, I said. He walked away. After a few steps, he turned back. Ava, I'm sorry. It's okay, I said. It's all in the past. He smiled, for the first time. A free, unburdened smile. Be happy. You too. He walked off. I held my daughter, watching his fading figure. No hatred, no love, just nothing. Like looking at a stranger now. I am 25. I am the heir of the Summers family, the lady of the Carter family. I have a husband who loves me, a daughter who adores me, and I will never be small again. Because I finally understand, I was always meant to stand tall. I never needed scraps of affection. I never needed to beg for love. I am worthy. I deserve the best. Those who hurt me, those who made me cry, are all in the past. I walked out of the darkness. And now I walk higher, further. Mommy, are we going home? Nora asked. Yes, sweetheart, I smiled. We walked toward Julian, who was waiting by the car. He opened his arms and embraced us both. Let's go home, he said. Yes, home, the home that belongs to me, warm, safe, bright. And this time my story is just beginning.